Hi, and welcome to Girls Gotta Glide, episode 4. This week I have spent, this is now completing the second week of my life in an RV with just myself and no transportation other than a bicycle and my feet. And it's been I've been getting used to what it's like to be somewhere other than New York City and to, figure out how to navigate a world that's not a world I was used to. There's no gym, there's no taxi, there's no really, there's people around, but there's no people. Like I don't have a friends. I'm not running into friends, or my friends are all doing their thing wherever they are, and I'm here doing my thing. So it's a pretty solitary experience, and I kind of liken it to a pilgrimage, which is there'll be more about that later. And so this is like the beginning of kind of my pilgrimage. And I'm living in an RV is very different than living on the 29th floor of a full service luxury building in Manhattan, where you're facing southwest and the light is stunning and the windows are huge and the windows in RV are really small. And I'm giving you a tour in this video so you'll get to see. So I'm like in kind of a darkened place and getting my bearings around that, which I'm doing, um, thanks to some advice from my cousin. I have been making use of water jugs and rocks and things for my workouts, and my feet for sure. Today I hiked over 12 miles to get to and from the grocery store. I could have taken my bike, but I chose to walk it, and that was really powerful and beautiful. And I have to do something about the knapsack because that's a little painful. But other than that, it's interesting. And this week was rather challenging because I think in the calmness of the woods and being with nature and in this like really diabolically different place of a living, I had a lot of feelings showing up. And look, Girls Gotta Glide is about a journey beyond marriage. And in order to get beyond marriage, I have to process being separated and ending the marriage that I've been in. And look, I never expected that. I went into my marriage pretty late in life. I was 41, and for me, taking that vow was so serious, like totally legit. I would have done anything to save my marriage had I really known something was wrong with it. Unfortunately, I was with somebody who wasn't forthcoming about their feelings, and so, or interested in doing whatever it took to save it. So it didn't matter what I was willing to do, it just didn't. And that is a lot to come around to. So I had a lot show up this past week, and I traveled through a lot of really painful emotions and feelings, and they went something like, shock and disbelief and pain, of the pain of loss, the pain of rejection, the pain of feeling unlovable, and the pain of no control. like, and then I started to come through these feelings, started to integrate acceptance, and well, it is what it is. And there's a light in here that wasn't here before this week. So I really needed to traverse these feelings that were alive inside of me, and they may come up again. I may go through it again, but for right now I'm feeling worlds different and better, and I'm seeing things differently now. And so to just speak really quickly about the idea of a vow for me, even when I wasn't married and just in relationships, I'm a really, really loyal person. I have always been this way, and I liken it to something like, I don't know what I liken it to. I'm just loyal. And I'm one of those people that when I'm committed to something, I'm committed with my whole heart. And when my whole heart is in something, there's nothing else. So I think coming out like in a marriage, because I take the vow so seriously, I'm having to wrap my head around canceling this contract, right? So I had a contract that was for life, and life isn't over. I think I still have plenty of life left in me. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to move on and open myself up to other relationships and experiences beyond the vow. So I think that's what I'm left with, is this contemplation. And so it's a contemplation. And because I'm such a spiritual being and on a path to enlightenment, for lack of a better word, or I like to call it being fully embodied. You know, there's probably many, many options for us. And when the lessons and the love are complete, we're opening up to a new vibration, a new frequency, a new experience. So it's funny, I get like a flutter in my heart when I talk about this, because I feel like in this moment, talking about this is just sharing with me that there's just such joy to be had in my future, and that, you know, I can bring closure to this experience as I process it and move forward from it. It's a gift, truly a gift. No matter how difficult the experience has been, it's like, what a gift, because I myself as a being am evolving rapidly because of this experience. And so being in RV is pretty powerful. You know, communing with nature. I'm creating a platform to share my love, my evolution, my growth with you guys, and whatever gets downloaded to me is, you know, powerful, because my purpose and my intention and what I'm creating here is to share the process. And like, you know, I, on some level, on a soul level, soul to soul, I invited this experience into my field so that I could become whatever it is I'm wanting to become, which is fully embodied. So I've had to explore all of these feelings and emotions and pain that maybe was lodged deep inside and could only come up through the experience that I've chosen to have with my soon to be ex-husband. And I like to say soon to be ex-husband because he's not my husband anymore. He's already moved on in all ways. Yeah. And that's the thing, like I don't know, I guess if the right circumstance came up, maybe I would too. I don't know. But there's this part of me is like, we still have a contract, and until that divorce is final, we're in a contract. And so I haven't even considered uh, another man, another relationship. I haven't considered sex with somebody else. I haven't considered uh, that. And I don't know what that would look like if that was to arise. And if it were to arise, I guess I would, be with that and deal with whatever that meant for me. So, um, it's kind of fun to think about because I don't really think about it. So just even having this conversation with you, I'm thinking about it, and it does make me a little excited for whatever could happen in the future. Like, to be honest, the past hasn't been exactly exciting, or what I would imagine in my head it could have been, and I couldn't make it what I imagined in my head, because it takes two to make that happen. So I don't know, the way things are going and the way that I'm viewing where I'm at and what I'm doing is somewhat of a pilgrimage at this moment. And I don't think that, another relationship is really going to happen in this experience. So we'll see. That's what this show is about. Like, we'll get to see what happens and what arises for me, what opportunities arise. But for right now, it's just me, and very much just me. I'm very alone in the woods, though I'm in a campground and I'm not alone in the woods. It's, the RV is fixed. It like affixed to, I rented. It's in a campground. There's other people here, but I'm alone here by myself. And I don't have any visitors, not yet, except for the first weekend. And so it's a journey to be alone with yourself in the woods. It's you have it's hard to run away from yourself in the woods alone. Though I'm pretty good at attempting it here and there. You know, it's easy to get caught up in things. To have the internet, like, it's easy to get distracted by technology or by doing things, other things. But for the most part, I'm with myself. And that in itself is it's a commitment. Like, this is a commitment. I am not looking. I am, I'm a, I'm a light being. I'm a being of immense light. And on Girls Gotta Glide, I'm going to be doing some really awesome stuff, right? So I already am. And so, without further ado, here's the tour of RV. And I didn't show her before, but let me just say that the before pictures would have really blown you away, because she was in some seriously bad shape. But I didn't want to focus on that. I just wanted to show her in her best. So I've done what I felt was appropriate, and had I been staying longer, I probably would have done more. But I'm not here that long. I'm only here for a short time. I will be exiting RV at the end of August and moving on to my next glide. So it's been amazing chatting with you. And if you have any questions or want to know more, if something I've said has struck home for you, then feel free to share. My healing is your healing is my healing. We are one, and everything that I'm going through and you're going through, we're in it together. Like, life is too short to be so far apart, no matter how alone you feel. And believe me, I know what that feels like. You're not. You're here. You're going. You're strong enough to get through this, even if you don't think you can. And if you're through it, then God bless and show us the way. And I love you. I love you so much. Me.